And hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Perspectives. I'm Darren Jaime. Tonight, we take a look at a Bronx church, the Glory of Christ Church. The church was ravaged by fire and vandalism. The church literally destroyed. Where are they today? Well, we'll update you on that in a few minutes. But first, our Arlene Makoko takes a look back at the Glory of Christ Church and the tragedy that rocked a congregation and a community.
This is all that is left of the sanctuary of the Glory of Christ Church in the Castle Hill section. Piles of debris found in the middle of the worship hall, singed and blackened walls, and melted and broken light fixtures. This following an early morning fire on December 9th that left the building uninhabitable and its pastor stunned.
We're at a loss. I mean, we've done nothing but good in the neighborhood since we got here. We have our soup kitchen outreach, we have block parties, give out toys for the kids, we give out clothes to the people. No one's ever expressed any kind of anger towards us or animosity towards us.
But the letters on the wall speak for themselves, both at the building's entrance and the basement. Who do you imagine could have done something like this?
This was out of left field, as we say. None of us have any clue.
He showed us where he believes the flames began and then fanned out. Despite all the damage, he called the fact that the altar was left untouched a miracle.
Our wooden altar, our pulpit, and a little box of tissues were not touched by the flames. And to us, that's a sign of God's favor, saying, even though I let this happen, I put a limit as to how far the enemy can go. God is still and always will be in control.
The nearly 100-year-old building was once a synagogue, and surviving the worst of the blaze is the Star of David in a front window. Treasurer Josh Pecan shared the outpouring of support not only from worshipers, but also the broader Bronx community has been overwhelming.
Afterwards, talking to the brothers, talking to the pastor, we encourage one another. That's what the Bible encourages us to do. In times of trouble, in times of need, laying on one another, and we get strength. We're receiving a lot of strength from one another.
It could take up to 4 months before doors reopen here for worshipers. Pastor Talavera shared that he's just happy none of them were hurt. For BronxNet, this is Arlene Makoko.
Well, Arlene said in her previous package it could take up to 4 months. Well, the recent update is just last week, the Glory of Christ Church went back into their old sanctuary. Here to give us an update as to where the Glory of Christ Church is Pastor Raymond Talavera. It's good to have you back here.
Thank you.
Good. As we saw, December 2009, obviously, those pictures are still etched in your mind and you still deal with it. But tell us where we are today.
It's been a long journey the last 7 months. As I was sharing before, we've gone through some incredible times. Difficulties, yes, but also times of exhilaration, seeing the people just come together. We came back home last Sunday, to a fantastic celebration. Dignitaries attended. I mean, everybody, the place was packed out. And to see these pictures and to see what exists today, it's literally night and day.
And I know, because in the piece, Arlene says you guys were looking at approximately 4 months. You're talking somewhere around close to 7, maybe close to 8. A little bit longer on the timetable, but well worth the wait.
Well worth the wait, sir. Mm-hmm. It's been, like I said, we had various hiccups along the way, various obstacles to face, and we're still dealing with some things. But we're home, and that's what matters. We're all home.
Talk about the challenges just getting to this place of, where we are. Because, I mean, while we say, 8 months you're back in, you're not fully back in. I mean, the sanctuary is there.
Right. All we have is our sanctuary and 2 bathrooms. Mm-hmm. Upstairs, downstairs, still under construction. Thank God we have great contractors now. S-Working Corporation has done a fantastic job. But the previous contractor, however, did not. Mm-hmm. And it's sad to say people take advantage of people when they're in need. And we were taken advantage of for a few months by someone that was basically unscrupulous. And that delayed us a little further. So Arlene would have been right had we not had that problem.
Mm. So it set you back just a little bit.
Yeah.
What's been the mood of your congregation during this transition? Obviously, knowing that, we've lost our home pretty much and worshiping in a dance studio.
Yes.
What's been the mood, and how have you been able to minister to your congregation given the adversity?
Our people have done an incredible job of pulling together. Darren, the love and the support, I would say, of 99% of our people. We had a few that wound up leaving, but very few. I mean, the majority of them pulled together, as Josh said before on that piece, comforting each other, leaning on each other. There were some times where they would look at the building and say, when will we ever get back? But the faith never really wavered, and they've been amazing. I'm a little biased, but to me, as I said before, I think when I was here last time, I do have the best church in the Bronx, in the city as far as I'm concerned, because we're a family. It isn't just a bunch of people getting together on a Sunday morning. It's a family, and I've seen that more than ever these past few months.
Now, even though you don't have a mega church congregation, this has definitely received national attention. And the fact that a church has been vandalized, not just vandalized, but really, arson, the level of crime and the hate crime. Share with us a little bit from a legal perspective of how things have been in terms of, even we know the FBI has been involved.
Right. We did our research since our last time here, and we have the dubious distinction of being the church that's received the worst attack ever against a Christian church in our city history.
In the middle of the worship hall,
other churches have been
singed and
vandalized, obviously, burned, and so forth, but we had a combination of all three. And to the level that it was, these vandals, whoever they were, their intentions were to kill. They pulled out the gas line. They wanted the building to explode. We're surrounded by homes. Had that happened, people would have been badly hurt, if not killed. So given the intensity and the gravity of the situation, it is the worst example of a hate crime against a church in our city. The legal aspects, the FBI has become involved. The NYPD from the very beginning has been an amazing support and help. The CO from the 43rd Precinct is an amazing man, tremendously supportive. The detectives from the hate crime unit have been in touch. But given the magnitude of it, we have the FBI joining in as well, giving their support, because they want to catch these people before anybody else goes through what we've gone through.
And to catch these people, you're talking about 7-8 months and still no arrests.
No arrests.
Have they said anything to you in terms of possible, they got suspects, anything?
They've told me absolutely. They say they're working on it, and I believe that they are. But there's no names, there's no suspects. I was erroneously quoted in one of the papers this week saying that I thought it was drug dealers, but I never said anything of the sort. We have literally no idea who could have done this. We know it's more than one person, given the fact that the handwriting was different in the different graffitis. But other than that, we don't know how many there were or who they are.
Have you heard anything else, any new threats, anything of that nature?
No, I haven't heard a thing. In fact, the community we live in has done nothing but support us. And every time we were there cleaning up, they're saying, when are you going to come back? And this weekend, they were shouting and applauding just as much as we were. So.
And you had its grand opening, you had, I want to say the celebrities, the elected officials, had community there, had your congregation there. What was the message for your people?
The message we received for our people was that good will always overcome evil, as long as good people don't give up. There's a key. A few voices here and there popped up over the last 7 months saying, not from our church, but from outside, saying, why don't you just move somewhere else, somewhere safer? That's not our call. We're called to be lights in darkness. And if we let evil scare us away, they'll be emboldened. They'll do it again. They'll say, see, look what we did. No, there's no way. We went right back to where we were to show the evil of the people in this who did this, that no matter what they do, the Church of Jesus Christ will not be beaten by any power of the enemy.
Pastor Raymond Talavera is our guest, talking about the glory of Christ Church and the glory that has come out of a gloomy situation. Going to continue more talking with Pastor Talavera when we return right here on Perspectives.